Hello, my name is Sandra Bennett, and I'm excited to share with you a lesson that I recently taught to support the 7th grade life science curriculum, more specifically on body systems and web page design. I'll be sharing a bit about the lesson, and I will also be providing my assessment of it using the Technology Integration Matrix, or TIM, which I believe to be an excellent evaluation tool. First, just a bit about the lesson. This was a project really to support the unit on body systems. It involved teams working collaboratively to research or investigate a body system of their choice. They then synthesized their findings and they created web pages on a class website. They had the freedom of website platform selection as well as the design of their websites. It included embedding Web 2.0 creations of their choice, and the students assigned roles for themselves, and they self-monitored their progress throughout the project. They planned along the way for an audience comprised of other students in the community, particularly the elementary schools that were nearby. A blog was created for reflections at the end of the project, and there were also team and peer evaluations conducted. As far as the teacher's role, I was primarily serving as a facilitator throughout, but there was just-in-time direct instruction based on formative assessment and student need. This lesson and project supported the curriculum standards addressed in S7L2 D and E, as you see here, all to do with body systems and their functions. All right, and so let's take a look at a portion of their creations. Here you'll see work done by a team. They were working on the respiratory system. This particular class, they selected the website platform Weebly, and here you'll see they embedded a Voki, a tuxedo creation, Wordle, and they used images that they found as a part of their research, Creative Commons sources, and a video, BrainPop here. Another example shown here, it's the same class but a different team. You'll see a portion of the integumentary system page and a portion of the skeletal system page. The teams had the option to extend their learning and their technology experience by designing a Prezi on their topic, which they then embedded in a project gallery page on the website, which you see here on the left. Towards the end of the process, the students then reflected on what they had learned within a blog page on the website. In conjunction with this lesson, the students completed a team and peer assessment at the end of the project, which provided some great and beneficial input to me, their teacher, in the overall assessment of their work. But the students were also assessed based on a rubric that was provided at the start of the lesson, as shown here. They were assessed more specifically on the content, which you see there on the left under criteria, content, the layout and navigation of their website, the pages, the links and images on their pages, creativity, and their cited sources. Okay, moving on to the evaluation using TIM. First, as far as the attributes are concerned, the students were actively engaged. The project involved the students working collaboratively using technology to construct new information. They linked their learning to the world beyond the setting, and an example of that would be the importance of a healthy lifestyle and healthy eating resulting in healthy working systems. They worked for the purpose of sharing with the community, a live audience in the local elementary schools. And finally, setting their own goals, planning activities, monitoring progress, reflecting and evaluating, all to do with a goal-directed attribute. As far as the level of technology integration is concerned, this lesson, I believe, falls somewhere between infusion and transformational. In infusion, because the teacher provided some of the learning context, for example, body systems. However, the students were able to select topics within that general context, and they were able to make many other decisions related to this work, to the project. It involved an innovative use of technology tools that was encouraged throughout, and the tools were used to facilitate higher order learning activities such as the actual creation, which included problem solving and part of the design. And all of these activities that were not possible, I don't believe, without technology. I believe this lesson was innovative because, first of all, it was a non-traditional approach to the topic as opposed to just using textbooks and just basic internet searches. The website design was innovative and embedding Web 2.0 tools and new to most all of my students. It required creative collaboration and active engagement in the learning, and the students, as I said earlier, were self-regulated. All these things supported the fact that it was learner-centered. They were all contributors. They were motivated throughout the process, and I believe the students were stretched in their learning and in their creations. In conclusion, overall, I just feel like this was a really fun project and lesson for students and for me, their teacher. It involved learning and constructing with what I believe to be a seamless technology integration, as students were primarily focused on the content and the task, to create their web pages. It was personalized in that varied strategies were used. There was choice and voice for demonstrating learning along the way, flexible pacing for the most part, and just-in-time direct instruction along the way based on my formative assessment of student need. I really appreciated the opportunity to share this lesson and the evaluation using TIM. So thanks so much for watching.